Hey, it's Coach Reeves. Today we're going to work growth and decay problems. I know some of you have a phobia of word problems, but we can do this. All right, all we're going to do is put into practice the things you've been doing of non-word problems. Okay, this is the formula we're going to use for growth and decay. Obviously, if it's growth, we're going to use a plus sign. If it's decay or a decrease in value, we're going to use a minus sign. Okay, now the A is going to stand for your final amount. P will stand for your initial amount or your starting amount. Initial or your starting amount. R is going to be your rate. It's going to be a percentage, and we have to convert a percent to a decimal, so we have to move it 2 times. And obviously, T is going to stand for time. Okay? So let's get into this problem. Knowing that. It says Andy invests $15,000. That's his initial amount. That's how much he's going to invest. So we're going to say equals $15,000. Okay? If he earns, it's going to increase. We're going to say 1 plus 8.5%. So we're going to move this 2 times. That would be 0.085. We're going to convert that to a decimal. So that's going to be 0.085. And it says that we're going to determine how much Andy will have into his account after 10 years. The time is 10 years. So what we're asking you to find is the final amount. We're asking you to solve for A, the final amount. So we're just going to put this in our calculator and let it do the work. All right, let's go to our calculator. Let me clear this real quick. New, no, calculate. And we said we invested $15,000, parentheses, 1 plus 0.085, close your parentheses, and then we have an exponent right here to the left of the 4, the exponent of 10 years. Enter. Now we're talking money. If a decimal place comes up, that means that's going to be 0.8 or 80 cents. So this is, we would add a 0 at the back end, and that would be $33,914.80. When we're talking money, make sure that you put 2 decimal places just like you should with money. Okay? Let's go to another problem. We're going to look for a final amount, but we're having a depreciation. I'm telling you what's happening. Okay? So let's read the problem. It says Heather bought a car for $56,000. Okay, so that's our starting amount. The car costs $56,000. If the car depreciates, now he says depreciates or goes down in value, we're going to say 1 minus. But it depreciates at a rate of 4.5%. So we're going to move this 2 times, and that'll be 0.045. So that'll be 0.045. What will the value of the car be after 5 years? So we're going to look for the final amount. We're trying to find A, your final amount. So we're going to put this in the calculator, but it's just a minus sign because it's depreciation. Okay? All right, so go to the calculator. We're going to type in 56,000. We're going to go parentheses. We're going to say 1 minus 0.045, close it, exponent, 5 years. That's what we asked. Make sure you glance at your calculator to make sure it's putting in what you want. It's putting in what you have on your paper. We're going to hit enter. Again, this is money, so we need to add the decimal points. That's going to be 10 cents. Okay? And we're going to have $44,484.10. Your teachers will expect you to have 2 decimal places when we have money. Okay? All right, let's keep working. All right, next problem. We're going to ask for the beginning or the initial amount, the starting amount. Okay? It says Diana needs to have $20,000. She needs $20,000. So that's my final amount. The account that she places her money in earns 6%. So I'm not sure, I don't know how much money she's going to need to start with, but she's going to get 1 plus 2 times 0.06. How much money does she need to deposit if she plans on leaving the money in the account for 20 years? So there we go. There's your time. The variable that we want to solve for, I want to solve for P. And when this is next to the parentheses, that's multiplication. So to move this, we're going to divide by 1 plus 0.06 to the 20th, divided by parentheses 1.06, because if you add it together, it's going to be 1.06 to the 20th. Correct? 1 plus 0.06 is 1.06. All right, let's put this in the calculator. So when you go to the calculator, 20,000 divided by parentheses 1.06, close it, exponent. What was our exponent? Did we say it's 20 years, correct? Okay. 20, enter. And there it is. It will depreciate. She has to start out with $6,236.09. $6,236.09. It's that easy. The calculator will do it for you. Okay? Let's keep moving. Let's go back to our problems. Growth rate. Now we're going to have to find rate. This, out of everything, could be one of the trickiest problems that you're going to do. Okay, so watch quickly. All right, so Tyler Dean, Major League Baseball's rookie card sells for $1.25. That's the initial amount. When he first started, it's his rookie card. It is $1 worth $1.25. Okay? After 15 years in the majors, a mint condition card is worth $250. There is your final amount of $250. Determine the growth rate. So it's growing, 1 plus R. I do not know what my R is. After how many years? After 15 years. There's your time. I need to solve for R. So let's be patient. Let's take this in steps. Step number 1 is you're going to divide. Let's go blue. We're going to divide by 1.25. I want to slowly get this by itself. So we're going to divide by 1.25. This is going to cancel. 250 divided by 1.25. You put it in your calculator, and this will equal 200. Equals 1 plus, let's go ahead and do this again. We're looking for R to the 15th. Now, this is the tricky part. You have done this in the past. You can do this right now. I need to make that 15 go away. To make that 15 go away, that exponent, I'm going to raise the power to the reciprocal. Because when we raise the power, you multiply, and you're going to end up with 15 over 15, which cancels. That makes it disappear. So we're going to raise the power to 1 over 15. The whole reason is so that can cancel. We're going to put this in the calculator. We're going to say 200 raised to the 115. 200 raised to 1 divided by 15, and we're going to say enter, and there it is. 1.42365. 1.42365 equals 1 plus R. We want to find out what R is. So we're going to subtract 1. We're going to subtract 1, and that's going to be 0.42365, and that equals R. But that's our decimal form. We're going to convert that to a percentage. And so we're going to bump this 2 times, 1, 2, and we're going to round that, and that's going to be 42 point. In this case, I'm going to look at that and round up, and that's going to be 42.4%. So to find rate, that's kind of the trickiest one. You're going to have to raise the power to the reciprocal of the exponent to make it go away. That's the hardest thing you're going to do on this problem. Okay? Let's try one more. Excuse me. All right, now we're going to solve for time. Time's not that big of a deal. You can do this. After all the problems we've done, this is not going to be hard. Okay? All right, so Reagan bought a used Jeep for $24,000. That's the starting amount. If the Jeep depreciates at a rate of 4.5%, that's going to be minus. So that's going to be 1 minus. You convert this to a decimal, that's going to be 0.045. It says how many years, that means you don't know time, how many years until the value of the Jeep drops below 10,000? I do not know the time, but I do know the final amount we're looking for is $10,000. I need to isolate this. I need to get this exponent by itself. Now, I don't know if you remember this, but I told you in the past, if the variable that you're trying to solve for is an exponent, if the variable that we're trying to solve for an exponent, or is an exponent, you're going to need to convert it to log. You're going to need a log to get that exponent down. All right, watch these steps. Step 1, divide by 24,000. Divide by 24,000. This is going to cancel. The zeros cancel. And I have 10 divided by 24, which reduces to 5 over 12. Equals, let me move this a little bit, equals 1 minus 0.045 raised to the t. Remember, when you get your exponent portion by itself, now we're ready to convert it to a log. What's your base? This is your base. So when we convert this, your base stays your base. Log base 1 minus 0.045. You can do the math if you want. But when you convert it, your base stays a base. Instead of being paired with the t, now we're going to be paired with 5 over 12, and that will equal our time. You've done these problems, okay? So let's go to our calculator. And we're going to say control log, let's go back here. It won't let me do it right now. Okay, let's go to our calculator. And we have to erase this. All right. Control log of parentheses 1 minus 0.045. Now you could have done the math if you wanted to, okay? Cursor over. We need to be inside right here. 5 divided by 12. And look what we have. Log. Always check your work, see what you're putting in the calculator, and hit enter. It's going to give me 19.0138. Be careful. This says it's going to be a little more than 19. If you chop it off, at 19, it won't depreciate all the way to $10,000. So in this case, and they ask you for a year, and they're asking you when it depreciates or how many years it's going to take to drop to a certain level, don't round this to just a zero. You want to round up. It's going to take 20 years, or it's going to take 19.0138, but if they ask you for the nearest whole year, you have to round up to 20 years in this case. So be careful when they're asking for time in years. Make sure you're reading it correctly, because if you take off that last little bit of the decimal part, it will never reduce all the way down to $10,000 worth of value. Okay? So we're going to ask you to solve for the final amount, the initial amount, the rate, and the time. And there's an example of each one. Okay? That's enough to where you can attempt the worksheet. All right? Good luck. If you have questions, let us know. Let us help you. All right.